Hi, Chef Mike with Tupperware, and today I feel like something sweet, and I'm going to use one of our really sweet products to make that, and that's our Tupperware Microwave Stack Cooker. And the reason it's called a stack cooker is because it has several different levels that allow you to actually stack an entire meal. But today I'm talking about sweets, so all I need is the 3-quart base. I don't need any of the other inserts. But I do need our cone because we're going to make sort of a microwave bundt cake today, and that's how we achieved this. And the greatest part about this cake is that there are only 3 ingredients. You need a box of whatever your favorite chocolate cake mix is, which I'll go ahead and add to my bowl. Then, now this is again up to personal tastes, but I love Black Forest cake, and to have a Black Forest cake you need cherries. So I have a can of cherry pie filling, and this is going to give me a chance to show you the Tupperware can opener. This is great because unlike a conventional can opener, it doesn't actually cut the can, it unseals it. So there are no sharp edges, and in the grocery store you don't really know what's been running around on top of the cans, and you really don't want to know, so you don't have to worry about that, because the lid is not going to fall into your food. So let me show you how easy this is to work. Now most can openers go in from the side, but ours doesn't. You open it up, it goes on top, and when you close the handle and can pick up the can, then you know you've made proper contact. The great thing about this too is it's got this large handle, so it's good for righties, it's good for lefties, it's good for people that have mobility issues or arthritis. And you're going to simply turn the can until you hear it click. This one didn't click, of course, but you will also feel it turn much more easily, and that's how you know that you've gone all the way around. Now you open the handle, and there's a little grip here that you place on top of the can and close the handles again. And look at that, the top comes right off, no sharp edges. So that's our second ingredient is the can of cherry pie filling. And then our third ingredient is 3 eggs, which I've already broken, because I think you might already know how to break an egg. And I'm simply going to mix these together until it's a smooth batter and you don't see any dry powder left over. Just takes a moment. This is great for kids. If you have little helpers that like to help out in the kitchen, this is a great way to get them involved. And you're not dealing with a hot oven. Okay, we're almost there. Like I said, you just want to mix until there's no visible dry cake mix. Now, unlike a regular cake pan, the stack cooker is naturally non-stick. Some people will put a little bit of cooking spray inside. I don't, because I've never had a problem. So we're going to lid on the edge today. Okay, my cake is done. Now the cone doesn't lock into the base. There's a little ridge there that kind of holds it in place, but what I recommend is just to hold it down with one finger. If you've got someone in the kitchen to help you, then that's a really good job for them as well. But you'll just take a spoonful of the batter, and you want to put this in carefully. You don't want to get it on the sides, and you don't want to get it on the cone. And the reason is, microwaves are really attracted to fat and sugar, and of course there's plenty of both in this cake. And if you have any pieces that are not with the main batch of ingredients, they're going to be the first things to get cooked, so you may get some little cake charcoal, and we don't really want that to happen. You know, if it happens that you get some on the side or on the cone, just wipe it off with a paper towel. Life is too short to worry about such things. And it really doesn't matter that it's completely level, because I'll show you a little trick that will help level the batter as well. Okay, I love this spatula because it gets every last bit of the batter out of here. Kids and dads hate this spatula because there's nothing left for them to lick out of the bowl. But I can't help that. Okay, last little bit. There's one cherry hiding in there, and I've got to make sure that we get all of the cherries into this Black Forest cake. Now, the batter is not exactly level, so there's a couple of tricks that you can use. Put your thumbs down on the cone and give it a whack, or two, or even three, and that'll help level the batter. Now, there's another trick, because you never want to put a cover on this. The stack cooker comes with a cover, but if you'll notice, there are these little knobs on the top, and on the bottom of the stack cooker, there are matching knobs. So if you place the base onto the inverted cover, it doesn't lock in place, but it holds it steady in the microwave. Why do you want to do this? Curved surfaces will cause the microwaves to go and be deflected up into the food. So by putting the inverted cover like this, it's forcing those microwaves up and into the cake batter, so it's going to rise evenly and it's going to cook evenly. So that's just a little trick I'm sharing with you. So we're going to put this in the microwave 10 minutes. That's it. Now let me mention, all microwaves act differently, just like everyone's conventional stoves. So depending upon the wattage of your microwave or your particular personality of the microwave, it may take 8 minutes, it may take 11 minutes. So you'll just have to play with your particular microwave to make sure. So now after 10 minutes, we're gonna have cake. Okay, while our cake is cooking, I'm gonna make some whipped cream because I don't know about you, but I like having some whipped cream with my cake. And I'm gonna make that in our Power Chef. Power Chef is great. Most people know of it as a chopper, but it also has a mixing attachment, and I can actually whip this cream faster than I could with an electric mixer. Don't believe me? Watch. I'm going to insert that attachment, put the collar on, and I'm going to add, I've got a little more than a cup of heavy whipping cream in here that's been chilled. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of sugar, because I like things sweet. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract, or you could use almond or whatever you particularly like. Now I'm going to add the motor, lock it down. Now watch how quickly I'll be able to whip the cream. Very easy, it's just like a lawnmower, but this is a lot more reliable. When you feel it becoming a little more difficult to pull, you know that the cream is beginning to thicken. So let me just take a peek. It's not quite there yet. So I need to do a little bit more. Now you can tell just by looking at the cover that it is just about there. I want the cream whipped a little bit more stiffly. I don't want it too stiff, and this will actually create butter if you go too far, so we don't want butter. We want whipped cream. Okay, now the way that you know that it's whipped enough is that the bald chef can hold the bowl over his head and it doesn't fall. Fooled you. So now the cream is ready, and I will keep this chilled in the refrigerator until the cake has cooled and we're ready to serve it. Okay, our cake is just about done, and I want to show you, there's the magic beep. Again, notice that the handles are cool to the touch, so I don't need oven mitts. And the cake, if you take a look at it, it certainly has risen, and it's a little bit lopsided, but that's okay, because as it cools, it will settle a bit. But what I'm looking for is to make sure that it's set. If it was still a little bit liquidy, I might put it in for another minute or so, and again, that's where everyone's microwave varies. So this microwave, I know 10 minutes is enough time. But as with anything that cooks in the microwave, it needs to rest. And just like a cake baked in a regular oven, this cake needs to cool before I can unmold it. And certainly it needs to cool before I put whipped cream on it, because then it's just going to melt. So I'll show that to you in a moment. Okay, the cake has had a chance to cool now for about 20-25 minutes. Depends on how hot your kitchen is anyway. But the way that you can tell when it's safe to unmold is if you look around the edges of the stack cooker, you can see where the cake has begun to pull away. And that's a sign not only of doneness, but also that it's cool enough and safe enough to unmold. So I'm going to use our collapsible cake taker so that I can take this to my hungry friends. And I'm just going to simply take this and invert it, turn it upside down, give it a tap or two, and then lift. And voila, we now have an unmolded cake. Now we still have, that's a Scooby snack for later. Now we still have the cone, so you simply give it a twist, and it comes right out. So there is our cake in our cake taker. Now if you wanted to, you could take our whipped cream and ice it, or you could do a sugar glaze or sprinkle with powdered sugar. I just want cake and I want whipped cream. So let me get that out of the refrigerator. It's been kept nice and cold, and I've got our seal on it. I'm going to take off the seal, and let me serve a piece for you. But just like a cake in your home oven, after waiting 20 minutes for the oven to heat up and then waiting for 30 minutes for it to bake, I've got cake in less than half an hour. So that always makes me happy. And now I'll take a little bit of our cream. Make it pretty and tasty. And there you have the Stack Cooker Black Forest cake. 10 minutes in the microwave, 20 minutes cooling, 30 minutes, yum.